As someone who loves the outdoors and climbing, I've often said, I don't want to climb Mount Everest, I just want to see it. And there is no better place to see Mount Everest, and 3 of the other 10 highest peaks in the world, than the summit of Gokyo. And there is no more challenging or beautiful way to get to Gokyo than over the iconic Chola Pass. This video will take you on this adventure and introduce aspects of Sherpa culture. My name is Paul, and this is my team. Let's go. This trek, like nearly all treks in this region, began in Lukla, which is reached by air only from the airport in Mantali, which is a 4-hour harrowing drive from Kathmandu. Lukla is an unforgettable transport hub, incorporating everything: small aircraft and helicopters, yaks, mule trains, and superhuman Sherpas, all transporting goods and people to support one single human activity: climbing in the magnificent Everest region. Trekking in the lower valleys is a unique pleasure. Moderate temperatures, easy trails, picturesque villages, stupas, carvings, and prayer wheels. You will cross multiple suspension bridges, see mule and yak trains carrying goods, immense cliffs, breathtaking views, and the occasional glimpse of the giant peaks that await you higher up.
Hey buddies. Hey buddies, you up for a hike today? Alright, we're just on the other side of Phak Ding, ready to cross the bridge. Absolutely spectacular views today. Just a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Morning. Let's take a look.
We arrived in Phak Ding after roughly 4 hours at an elevation of 8,800 feet, roughly 600 feet lower than when we started. Our journey of 74 miles had begun, and it was all up from there.
Here we go.
The next 3 hours up to Namche are extremely steep and difficult, and you feel the altitude for the first time. This Sherpa is carrying 220 pounds up this steep climb. He will make $10 for this day's work. After 6 tough hours of trekking, we arrived in beautiful Namche Bazaar. We had a great dinner at our tea house, the Moonlight Lodge, and turned in early to rest for the next day. The usual acclimatization day in Namche involves a climb up to 12,700 feet to the Everest View Hotel. The views are spectacular and include your first real look at Mount Everest and Ama Dablam.
One of the great things about climbing up here is that you come around a corner and you never really know what you're going to see, what kind of surprise lies around the corner. So I'm going to try to show you what that's like. And there we are. Surprise. Ama Dablam on the right, Lhotse, and Mount Everest sitting there hiding behind. And that's kind of what it's like.
For trekkers heading east towards Everest, as we were, you get a good look at your next several days' work far in the distance, as well as a look back at your progress so far. We returned to Namche with time in the afternoon to visit an important person. This is Lakpa Sonam Sherpa, a remarkable man. His photographs of the Himalayas are famous and displayed in every tea house in the Khumbu. As a child, he was one of the first scholarship recipients of Sir Edmund Hillary's Himalaya Project, which established the first schools throughout this region. Sonam went on to be a world-class climber, conquering the 7 summits, the highest mountains on the 7 continents, including Everest. He is a successful businessman, among other things, the founder and owner of Yeti Airlines and the Sherpa Mail Service. With funding from Reinhold Messner, he established 2 museums in Namche Bazaar, one dedicated to the history of Sherpa culture, and the other a museum of Everest climbing, and the key role of the Sherpa people in those efforts. Both museums are well worth visiting. Most amazing is that Sonam has been deaf since his early teenage years due to meningitis. Looking back, we started far below, around the corner, behind the mountain on the left. In these photos, you can see how the Sherpa are preparing for the winter. Under this marked dome, they have buried large amounts of potatoes, covered with hay to prevent freezing. Marked in this way, they will be able to find the potatoes and dig them up during the winter to survive. The yak is central to Sherpa life and survival. It is a source of food and a major means of transport. Yak dung is also their main source of fuel at higher altitudes. Here, a yak driver is grazing his yaks. As they poop, he forms the dung into discs and dries them on the rocks in the strong sun. They can be sold to others or stored, as you see here, for the winter.
दुनियाँको डर छैन मलाई ए भगाइ लान्छु तिमीलाई ए दुनियाँको डर छैन मलाई ए भगाइ लान्छु तिमीलाई अब बेहुली बनाउला छिट्टै अब ठुलो दाउ है ल ठुलो दाउ हो ल ल उडाइदिए सबभन्दा ठुलो दाउ कहाँको मेरो बाबा चिता खाए यो सुट खाएन इटा मात्रै हो इटा मात्र ल इटामा 200 इटा 200
Junge, making it happen. You the man. Jeet leading the way. Clouds starting to come in the afternoon here. We're almost at the top. Let's go.
After 7 hours of tough going, with many hills and valleys, we arrived in Tengboche and visited the famous monastery there. The Tengboche Monastery is the oldest and largest Tibetan Buddhist monastery in Nepal. Its location is extraordinary and speaks to the historically sacred nature of the surrounding mountains. The ornate prayer hall is open to trekkers, but to enter, visitors are asked to remove their shoes, which presents a bit of humor. The prayer hall is soon filled with 50 to 60 trekkers that haven't showered or changed their socks in 2 weeks or more. The resulting atmosphere does not lend itself to prayer, and one wonders if the sign shouldn't instruct trekkers to please leave their shoes on. And so our day ended, and we took a long look back at a difficult but fantastic day trekking in Nepal. The trek to Dingboche presented incredible views as we walked through rhododendron forests and got closer and closer to Everest and Ama Dablam. We gained more altitude and were soon above the tree line, with no more settlements along the way. The landscape changed completely, and we got glimpses of the serious climbing in store for us in the next few days. everybody.
Yeah.
This is Trekking Buddha. It is Wednesday afternoon, the 15th of November, and we have just about arrived at our destination, the village of Dingboche, and we spent our day hiking through what I think has got to be the most beautiful valley in the world, heading the entire time right straight towards Everest, which is behind me, and surrounded by some of the most famous and highest peaks in the world. So it's been an incredible day. I'm grateful to G for his guidance. And tomorrow and the next night we spend here in Dingboche, and tomorrow we'll climb to the top of that peak over there for our second acclimatization day to 15,500 feet roughly. We're at about 14,000 right now, and that'll prepare us for our day Friday and then our big day on Saturday. So that's it for me from now, and we'll see you later on. Welcome to Dingboche. We have only one goal today: to gain 2,000 feet of altitude to acclimatize. My one observation is that today the nature of our trek changed completely, from one of casual adventure and discovery to simply basic physical endurance. The mood is much more serious and will be like this for the remainder of our trek. Bring it on. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, the 16th of November, and we are on our second acclimatization day. We've been climbing for about an hour and 15 minutes. We're up to 15,300 feet, up about 1,000 feet so far. Great way to start the day. Hello, everybody. We have been resting now for 3.5 hours, and we have reached the top of this mountain. We've hiked up to 16,650 feet, over 2,000 feet today. Let's take a look around here. You can see how stinking high we are.
1, 2, 3.
There's
Okay.
Jeep looking good. Oh, the lung right there, right in front of us. All morning long. I'm looking over here at Chola Pass. It's kind of ticking me off. And, you know, it's all big and way up high and got its own glacier. It ticks me off. But I'm not trying to trash talk them too much because I don't want that thing to be mad at me on Saturday. So anyway, that's where we're at.
1, 2.
An incredible rest day here in Nepal. Good morning, everybody. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, Friday, November 17th, and we are on our way up through this beautiful area here, right straight ahead, about 6 miles in the distance. Chola Pass, our tomorrow's work, is right there in the center of the photo. This is the mountain we climbed yesterday. That was a killer. And we will say goodbye to our home for the last 2 days. Bingboche, surrounded by all these beautiful peaks. So we have another beautiful day, crystal clear. Let's go. Everybody, we have been hiking for about 2.5 hours now. We've gone almost 3 miles, and I just wanted to point out what's happening around us here. There's an important intersection right on the other side of that house, and most of the people that we've seen on the trail here will be going that way, turning north to go to Everest Base Camp. They will be climbing up to there, where there is the Khumbu Glacier up there, which also starts on Everest. Our trail will now turn directly west towards Gokyo and go up the side of this mountain right here. And Zongla will be on the other side of that. Right, Chi?
Yes.
Okay.
From here, it would take us about 3 hours to reach Zongla. 3 hours of breathtaking landscape and views. This again. We are nearing the top of this mountain here, approaching Zongla, which I think is around the corner. Chola looks so big, I can't stand it. I mean, it's right there. So, this is great. Hey, Jeet. How are we doing?
I'm doing good.
All right.
You?
Me too. I feel great.
Yes, great.
Just can't believe how big these guys are. There's Tabuche. And looking back from where we came from, way down there. What a day. Okay. So here we are. We're just under 16,000 feet, looking down a little valley, and then the range of mountains that we have to cross tomorrow, which is why we came here. It's just incredible. incredible beauty. I have to say, it's about 1 o'clock. We've been walking for about 5 hours now. I have to say, I feel great. I think yesterday's rest day, did its job. So anyway, I'm feeling good. Are we looking good? As Mikey says, heck yeah, we're looking good. And we'll see you down in Zongla. Coming around now. Chola Lake. Beautiful. There's Jungay carrying our stuff. And that's where we came from, way down there. Okay. We just came around the corner a little further and there's our destination. Zongla, right there. We're almost there. Let's go.
Finally, the day had come that all of our planning and preparation was for, the crossing of the Chola Pass. We set off from Zongla at sunrise at 6 a.m., beginning what was to be a very long and challenging but unforgettable day.
Okay, so you just kind of cannot underestimate the humor sometimes of this project. And Jeet, standing behind me, probably smiling, has just informed me that I thought we were going to be going up from here, but no, we have to climb up there first. And then go up from there. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. Okay, that was brutal. So we just came from down there, very steep. And I've just learned something new, again, that I didn't know before. And that is that we have to go up here and around the other side of these big boys. So, anyway, live and learn. And we're doing it. Okay. Alright. Jeet says we're making good progress. It is tough going at this altitude, but we're stopping fairly frequently to get water. And shouldn't be walking and doing it at the same time. So anyway, that's what it looks like. Okay, we've been climbing for 3 hours now, and we just crossed over 17,000 feet, and we are, as you can see, at the beginning of the glacier. I have to say, I'm a little nervous about this, but we're going to have a little rest here, have a little jet fuel. Let's take a little look at where we've come from. There we go. Let's go. And here we are at the glacier. We'll stop over here, put our crampons on, and head up. If you look at the very top of that ridge, you will see the top of Chola Pass. So we are in sight of it, which is great. All right, let's go. If it looks like I'm going slow, I am. That's about as fast as I can go. Pretty much the same with everybody else up here. But we're doing it. Almost there. Let's go. Well, I have to say, we did it.
Yes.
We made it.
We made it.
I'm pretty emotional right now, so it's hard to talk, but we're at the very top. Now we can go look at what it looks like on the other side. Whew. Here we are on the other side. Unbelievable. Now we have a long walk ahead of us to Dragneck, way down there. I'm so happy I don't know what to say. Okay, we've been hiking down for, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. And at least for me, because I'm exhausted, this is brutal. This is how steep it is. We didn't come down here. We came down over there. I mean, you can see these cables that are there. But I'm having a wicked time getting down. And thank God for Jeet and Junge, because I've fallen twice so far. This is very tough. Okay. But we're almost there. Let's go. Okay. It's getting to be mid-late afternoon now. This is the cliff that you have to go down to come down the other side of the Chola Pass. And I have to tell you, when I got to the bottom of it, I was wasted. And I've had a really hard time coming up here because we had to climb all the way down into this valley and then all the way back up here again. And now we're looking down. And if you look down to the bottom of this valley, that's where Dragneck is. That's where our day will end. An incredible day, and I am wasted. All right, let's go.
so ended a very challenging but magnificent day crossing the Chola Pass. Our first order of business on our final day was to cross the Gozumpa Glacier to Gokyo. Seen from far above, you could easily conclude that the glacier is flat and easy to cross. I quickly learned that neither of these things is true. Hiking down into the glacier and out of it is steep and difficult, and the glacier itself involves climbing and descending scores of hills on boulders and loose rock. It took us over 3 hours to cross the glacier and reach Gokyo. We arrived in Gokyo at 11 o'clock, 4 hours after we set off, and had a lunch of dal bhat power before we set off to climb Gokyo-ri. The climb was clear and spectacular.
Let's go back to east side. He said it's 3.5 hours to Fort St. That would be nice too. Goes to 46, so you want it to be a trail. Oh, the one across there? Yeah, on the other side. But then 2 more days here will make this better. I'm hoping it's flatter, but you know there's that one street. Some of it. You can see it.
We did it.
Well done, congratulations.
You bet. Whoa! Just a couple of things that I wanted to say on this incredible moment. First of all, I want to say that these views are like the crowning jewel of the best eight days of trekking that anybody has ever had. And I mean it. And I'm grateful to Jeep.
And then, woo!
And to Junge. But I also want to point out something interesting, which is that we didn't start down there today in Gokyo. We started down there on the other side of the glacier in Thagnak. I just wanted to point that out and show you what a phenomenal day we have had. And we're up here in Gokyo-ri with the clearest views you could ever have. And I'm so grateful to everybody for their support. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Thank you, Jake. We awoke the next day, hoping for one more clear day for our Everest flyby and return to Lukla. It was another beautiful day. We said goodbye to Gokyo and Gokyo Lake, and our chopper soon arrived. recrossed the glacier and flew over Thagnak. We climbed the long valley and headed up toward the Chola Pass. We flew right over the pass and the glacier on the other side. We then headed down the valley, passing right over Zongla. We flew over Lobuche Peak, looking for climbers, and then turned north toward Everest. With the Khumbu Glacier below us, Everest came into view. We flew over Kalapatar, Everest Base Camp, and the famous Khumbu Ice Falls, with Everest towering above. We then turned south, heading back to Cholatse and Tabuche, and our original trek route. We hurtled over Thukla and headed down towards Dingboche. We passed over the mountain we climbed above Dingboche on our second acclimatization day, and turned south above Dingboche. descended further, heading further south toward Tengboche. And soon passed over that memorable and sacred site. Lower still, we flew over the Hillary Bridge with the Everest View Hotel and Namche Bazaar off on our right. Lower still, we flew over our first stop on the trek, Phak Ding. Finally, we arrived at our original starting point, the airport in Lukla.